precious, and welcome back to this movie review session. So today we're going to be talking about or reviewing this movie called Due Season. So if you haven't seen it yet, please, I beg you, search for this movie, watch it, and come back and watch this review. I'd love to hear your opinion and your own perspective of this movie. Alright, and you can put your comment in the comment section. So let's dive in. Alright, so this movie started over like two sisters, and they were like, just talking and gisting about this guy, and about like how this guy is acting like holier than thou, and how they really like, one of the sisters were like, I think she was really trying to get the guy's attention, but the guy was pretty much rejecting any female or every female that came his way. Well, in the name that it was praying and praying for the right woman to come. So we can see them just, talking about how like, they've been trying to talk to the guy, and he's not giving any of them like, any show, no face, nothing. But then, the guy, so pretty much then we saw another scene where the guy was actually talking to his spiritual parents, and just, they were asking him like a big concern that what's going on, Brother Dan, like seems like, none of the ladies in church, like he's not talking to anyone, what's going on, trying to find out like, just spiritual upkeep, like checking up on him. And he said he was praying, like he has not met the one yet, and once he meets the right one, he would know. Meanwhile, we saw another scene where like, as he was praying, and we saw that he was praying, literally like praying for his, his wife to be, I would say, for God to connect them. And we saw another scene where like God was actually preparing another woman that was in Maryland. So let's say this guy was in Texas, in Dallas, Texas, but then the lady was in Maryland, and God was like preparing the woman and told the woman to actually move from Maryland to Texas. But because she had her work, she had everything else, she didn't really want to move. But Brother Dan was busy like, praying and everything. God gave him like the direction of, or the description of what the woman would look like. So now, fast forward to the other woman. God was prompting her like to move to Texas, but because she had her work and every other thing that was holding her back in Maryland, she didn't really want to move. So she kept like, delaying and procrastinating and everything. So long story short, right, we can see that in the course of this movie, there was another lady that showed up that kind of fit into that description of what God showed Brother Dan that his wife would look like. But guess what? When he saw it, was like, okay, God told him that he's going to meet his wife in his pastor's house for the first time, the stature of the woman and everything. So when Brother Dan saw this woman, he was like, hey, thank God that this is my wife that I've been praying for. Never bothered to go back and check with God, right? He just assumed that that was actually his wife. And guess what? He got married. Now he got married to the wife, this wife in quotes, and I'm saying in quote because, I mean, if you really watch the movie, you'll be able to see what I'm saying.
To carry, why?
In the name of Jesus, oh God.
So he got married to this woman on the same day that God had told the lady in Maryland that he was going to get married. So he got married to this lady, and after that, brother Dan saw exactly what happens when you marry outside God's will. Now, the reason why I would love for you to go back and watch this movie and let us discuss is why, number one, is it that Brother Dan did not really pray enough? He actually prayed. He prayed a lot, right? Is it that he didn't hear from God? Yes, he actually heard from God. But how come Brother Dan made a mistake? Why did he make a mistake, and how come he married the wrong woman? Fine. So maybe you're married right now and you're thinking like, Lord, I've really missed it in my marriage. Like, my destiny is just over. Like, it's my fate. What should I do? I think you really need to watch this movie so you can really see how God restored Brother Dan's destiny, even though he missed God's will at first. Now, talking from the singles, the lady that, the single lady, right? God told him, he said, move to Maryland. But because of everything that she was handling, whatever it is she was going through, she delayed God's instruction. And as a result of that delay, she missed a timing at that point. So you may be thinking that, oh, Lord, I've missed my timing. Oh, I know you showed me that, brother, but I missed it. So what's going to happen? Is it that my life is over? I think you really need to watch this movie and see how God actually restored the sister's marital destiny. It looks like it was over for her, because by the time she eventually got to Texas, guess what? Brother Dan was married to another woman. So what now happened to this sister? This is why you need to watch this movie. My own takeaway from this movie and that I see is that God can actually restore us, no matter how far we think we're gone, no matter how no matter how bad the mistake is, God can actually restore us. Another lesson that I learned from this movie is prompt obedience. Prompt obedience. When you don't obey God, when He instructs you to obey, when He gives you instruction, it really comes with consequences. But then, out of His mercy, is able to restore. Another thing is faith, and absolute faith and trust in God. So, are you single and you're praying and you feel that, oh, God already told me who I'm going to marry, and then you find just as God is showing you the original, the enemy is also doing the duplicate of what God is showing you. So how will you be able to differentiate? Trust me, this is why you need to watch this movie. It's called Due Season. Search this channel and look for that movie, and I would love to hear your feedback regarding this movie. And also, you can share your true life story in the comment section if you feel like it's going to be a blessing to other singles out there. If you're a single, I definitely recommend this movie for you. If you're married and you feel like, oh, maybe this is not God's will and I've missed it, trust me, you need to watch this movie. Learn 1 or 2 lessons on how God can restore your home. Thank you so much for watching this movie review session. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.